The game is originally a card game which we developed using hardware components. It consists of 4 players where each player has an initial DAT of 13 points and tries throughout the game to reduce his DAT to 0. Associated with each player are 4 buttons and 4 LEDs. Each one of the buttons of each player corresponds to a player. This button will be hit during the gameplay, meaning that the current player selected the player identified by this button as a target. The game consists of rounds. In each round, a random LED will be turned on for each player. Whenever 2 LEDs of 2 different players match colors, each player should compete to hit the button corresponding to the other player as fast as he could. And the slower player will have his DAT increased by the number of points in the pool. If at some round no 2 players match their LED colors, the LEDs are relit randomly, taking an additional point from each player to the pool. Whenever the DAT of any player reaches 0, he wins and gets out of the game. The player who remains till the end and collects all the 52 points is considered the loser of the game.
The input of the project are push buttons. In front of each player are 4 buttons to identify other players by their ID to be selected as a target player. So during the gameplay, when 2 players have the same LED colors, the game will freeze waiting for one of them to hit any of the buttons. After this hit, only the first hit is considered after this hit. If the hit was correct, then the target player will collect the points in the pool. Otherwise, the player who hit the button will collect the points in the pool. If a player gets out of the game, all his buttons will be disabled, till only one player remains in the game, who is the loser. Physically, the button is connected from one side with the ground and from the other side with the board, with pull-up registers.
Our game has 16 LEDs, 4 for each player. In each round, the program chooses randomly one of the LEDs to be on and switches off the other 3 LEDs. Because one LED of each 4 is on, we can reduce the number of the outputs from 2 to 4 by encoding the 4 signals into only 2 signals. Those 2 signals are connected from the Arduino board to the input of 2 to 4 decoder that decodes the 2 signals into the original 4 signals. However, this decoder is active low decoder, so we need to invert the output of this decoder by using NAND gates. Then we connect these signals into one pin of the LED and the other pin of the LED connected.
In our project, we are using LCD to display the current score of each player during the game. And it also displays the number of cards on the ground. The LCD interface consists of 16 pins. The first 2 pins are used to the power supply, and the last 2 pins are used for the backlight. The first pin and the last pin are connected to the ground. The second pin is connected to the VCC, and this pin is also connected to the VCC. These 4 pins are used as data pins to send the data to the LCD. This pin, enable pin, this pin is RS pin to choose the register destination to write the data to the LCD. We are using potentiometer of 10 kilo ohm to control the contrast of the LCD. The LCD is controlled from the code using library liquid crystal. At the start of the game and end of the game, we are using method print to display the current score and the number of cards, and also display the loser at the end of the game.
Now I'm gonna go through some technical details of our project, software details. At the very beginning of each round, we check if the game is already over. And the game is considered over if the score of 3 players reaches 0 and only 1 player remains in the game. This player actually is considered as the loser of the game with a depth of 52 cards. If the game is not over, the program begins to randomly assign a state for each player. This state is reflected in the hardware through the LED colors. Whenever the states of 2 or more players match colors, the program begins pulling from input from the users. This input is considered as the intended player whose state matches the current player. When the input is given, the processing of the input takes place, and the score of each player is increased or decreased accordingly.